everybody. Welcome to our August episode of True Colors Between the Lines. I'm Scotty Myers, your host, and we are ready to do another edition of our DigiGo show. This week, we've talked with Jan Stevenson from Between the Lines. She's the publisher. She came back to talk about the latest issue of their paper. But before we get into that, let's meet tonight's cast.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, it's Chris.
Hello, I'm Miranda.
Hi, I'm Brendan.
We're so happy to have Brendan join us for our show this week. Yay! So with that, let's get right into our first interview segment with Jan Stevenson from Between the Lines. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Here we go. So Jan, welcome back to True Colors Between the Lines at Go Comedy or DigiGo. I'm so glad to have you back.
Thank you, Scott. It's great to be back.
And if you haven't didn't know, Jan is the publisher of Between the Lines, and we interviewed Jan back when we first went digital. She gives all kinds of history on Between the Lines and how it came to be. So if you want all that information, you can go watch that episode. But for this, we want to talk about some things that are current in the paper, right?
Okie doke.
Because there's nothing going on in the world right now.
I know. Yeah, there's nothing happening. It's just
Nothing,
so dull.
just a few things. So we picked 3 stories that are available on pridesource.com right now. We're recording this on August 19th. So around August 19th, there's some stories that are available. Should be, because they're pretty recent. So the first thing I want to talk to you about, Jan, is Eve Kucharski, who has 2 stories that we're going to talk about today.
She's amazing.
She's great. Eve has a story on the Democrats' bill in the Michigan House to remove anti-LGBTQ language from Michigan laws. So the first thing I want to say, there's like 50 some laws on Michigan's books that still have LGBT.
Busy people up there in Lansing. I'll tell you, busy.
Yeah, I guess if you have decades of anti-LGBTQ people,
Yep.
you're going to have decades worth of
Everything.
laws. Yeah. So it just seems like there's so many. I mean, the one that I'm the most aware of, obviously, is the constitutional amendment that got passed, the anti-marriage amendment. So they're working on removing that, correct? They're working on changing that somehow.
Right. You're right. There are lots. There's thousands of laws on the books, and you're right. Over the years, the anti-gay people who, for some reason think that's an important place to put their energy, they've spent a lot of time and energy trying to put discriminatory language in as many bills as possible. And this has been cumulative over the years. And now that there's been a sea change in terms of the legal rights of LGBT people, and the legal right to be married is a major one, but there's others. It's important to update the laws that are on the books so that they reflect the legal reality of the day. And Yosef Rabi has been an incredible ally for years. He's just a really great representative out of the Ann Arbor area, and he's taken this on to go through and really scour the current legislations to find out what still has this antiquated language in it, and he's come up with this bill to sort of do one sweep to clean house. Probably the hardest one is going to be the issues around marriage, just because it's still a very charged issue. The constitutional amendment that bans marriage between people of the same sex is still on the books. It's still in our Constitution. This bill would enable us to be able to change that. And I'm sure there's laws on the books that, people, every once in a while you hear about someone pulling out a 1842 law that says, my neighbor can't have a pig or something, that is used as a reason to discriminate against somebody. And it's just not a good idea. Even though it's moot, it's not a good idea to have it on the books.
Right. It's like there's going to be someone who's going to go back and have a particular point of view that's going to dig something up years from now and try to use that against someone.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This helps preclude that. What we're hoping is that, you know, after the election in November, we have a democratically controlled state house, which would be lovely.
That would be awesome.
I know that would make this easier. Still, we'd have to get through a Republican-controlled Senate, but they might be more inclined to do it if the House were able to pass it. So we'll see. We don't know how far he's going to get with it. We're optimistic.
Pride Source ever done anything as far as like lobbying or supporting changes to laws? Have you guys ever like, I mean, you're an advocate in press, you're an advocate in for our community. Has the paper or the organization ever actually gone to Lansing to push a case or to push something?
Sort of. Susan and I are both very politically active. I was vice chair of the LGBT Democratic Caucus of the Michigan Democratic Party for a number of years. And politically, we're very active individually. With respect to the paper, we keep that sort of separate in a sense. We see the role of the paper is to report what people are doing. So we'll encourage people like Equality Michigan or Fair Michigan or the caucus or any of the political groups, the ACLU, if they're doing anything, what we try to do is amplify it. And yes, we've been to Lansing and we've raised hell as much as we can and we scream and yell at people all the time. But you know, we try to do it in the context of the community itself. Some of it's leading from behind, if you will, as a paper.
Right.
And some of it is encouraging our existing organizations to do things and then let us report on that and say how great it is that they're up there protesting or doing a phone bank or whatever it is that they're doing to generate agitation. Good trouble, as our friend John Lewis said.
All right, we're back from that segment. So guys, basically she was talking in that segment about these 50 some laws that Representative Rabin from Ann Arbor is working on changing, and they're going to go back and they're going to basically take away these laws that are on the books. And I thought it's fascinating. There are so many old laws on books everywhere.
You always hear things about like, this state just like technically joined the union 40 years ago because like it never got ratified for some reason.
Right.
I always remember like as a kid we would compare like weird laws and say like, well, like in Kentucky it's against the law to tie your giraffe to a telephone pole, like really weird obscure stuff.
Well, I mean, if you own an old house, so, you know, like even back the 50s, if you look up your title for back all the way to the history of your house, you will come across titles that ask your race because that was the law.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because in order to buy a house, they wanted to know what your race was.
Wait, so my adorable little 100-year-old house at one point was just like racist.
Yeah.
The process was, and if you were the wrong race, then they wouldn't let you buy the house. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago when those type of laws were getting taken off the books.
Well, I mean, the Supreme Court literally just made it so that you can be gay and get a job and not have to worry about getting fired for that. And that's nuts too. And I can remember like going and looking for apartments and stuff and jobs and like specifically having to check and make sure like, do you discriminate against gay people? Because I don't need to have any issues on that front.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that's the other issue is like, on the one hand, it's like, well, why do you have to do this? Like the Supreme Court said, you know, no discrimination in jobs, marriage is legal, but that doesn't mean that if someone finds this law, like Scotty said in the interview, they can't drag you through state court. And
it's going to be like, people are going to go back, like the idea, well, not only that, but I think it's so crazy, the idea of someone taking so much time and effort to go and search out something that they can use against someone for stupid stuff, just dumb things.
Oh.
I mean, I guess for someone maybe being gay isn't a dumb thing, but like, I mean, it is who people are. Like, why would you try to be hateful?
Like, I wish I knew what the 50 laws were, because I'm sure many of them are like very serious, things that impacted people every day. But it seems like at some point, one of them is just like, and no gay people at the parks. Like, just like a little thing added on somewhere. Like, they can't all be making gay marriage illegal.
Right.
There's definitely something about bathrooms in there too, because people have a big boner about bathrooms.
Yeah.
And who gets to use which ones?
The stalls have to be this high and have to be this low.
I think we've got enough stuff to do a scene. So with all of this, let's see a scene based on these things.
Thinking of a way to get rid of those new neighbors.
The ones across the street?
Yeah, the ones we have to look at when we're on our front porch.
I don't know. Aren't we rich enough that we just got everything we need?
It's not about the money. It's about principle.
I don't know about you, but to me, everything's about money. I sold my principles a long time ago.
Okay, a different context. I agree, money is important, and we both sold our principles as far as capital goes. What I'm talking about is morality, sexual proclivity, and things I just don't want to see and hear.
Okay, so I'm with you. I love not having my scruples anymore. I sold them all. But also, how much would you pay for my morals right now? How much would you sell for my sexual proclivity for?
I don't want anything to do with your sexual You're missing the point. You keep wanting to focus on yourself, and I'm talking about our neighbors.
Yeah. Let's talk about me a little bit more. You're right. How much would it be worth for me to, how much would you bet me to go over to those neighbors and say, get on out of here?
You know you have a gambling problem. I'm not.
I do not. How much do you want to bet that I could go a week without gambling? How
You
much?
know what we're going to do? I will bet you. You know what? I'm going to send you across the street. I'm not going to get involved, but I'm going to send you across the street to deal with those new neighbors.
All right.
Okay? And I'll be over here supporting you from afar.
Knock, knock. Oh, excuse me, Harold. Benjamin, hi. I just wanted to say hi. I'm new to the neighborhood, and I brought some brownies.
Is there any of those brownies? How many of the brownies do you think I could eat? I bet I could eat them all. I bet I could eat those brownies.
No, just stop it. Be a good neighbor.
What? Wait, which one of us?
Dean! Yay!
I'll be nice to your face, but when you're gone, I'm going to call you a name.
I think that's like the neighborly way, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's called being polite.
Everyone talks about everybody else when the blinds are closed, right?
Right.
I am so spoiled. Like, knock on wood, I have no problems with a single one of my neighbors. It is beautiful.
Are you saying that because you're my neighbor, Chris?
We are not neighbors. We have like 24. We've got
Chris,
20 houses between us.
Have you physically met and or interacted with any of your neighbors?
That's the question.
Okay, so on one side, no. For 4 years, we've never interacted. On the other side, we met once when they moved in maybe 2 years ago.
Yes, it's hard to have problems with people you don't interact
But
with.
I mean, it's a pretty smart method, because that's what I'm doing too. It's like, I don't need to have a target on my back. I don't need any enemies in our neighborhood. Don't do anything.
Everybody just keeps their head down.
I do remember as a kid, whenever someone new moved onto our street, we would make like cookies or brownies and have to go walk them over to this person's house. And I always like felt very awkward doing it because I was a kid and I'm not going to make friends with a new adult. But maybe my mom was just being nosy.
I will say, I will say we do, like, I do have some great neighbors as well. East Lewiston is a wonderful street.
Wonderful
It's a
street.
wonderful street. And we do have our favorite neighbors who we would never say anything bad about. They're fantastic. With that, we'll go on to the next segment with Jan Stevenson. Cool. Well, let's move on to the another story that's out right now, which is big news. And that's that the FDA approved trials for an HIV cure, or a possibility for a cure.
And it's terribly exciting. I mean, it's new. We're not there yet. And just, thinking back to the 80s and the 90s, where, Susan and I both had really dear friends. This is just an example. I mean, there's a million stories like this. We both had very, very dear friends that were both very sick, and the protease inhibitors were just coming out. It was 1992, and one friend got it, and the other friend didn't. I mean, the friend who didn't get it died. The friend that got it is still alive now, 20 some odd years later. And it's just such a heartbreak to have lost so many friends, so many coworkers, so many people, and to have thought at that point that there might someday be a cure was just a pipe dream and just something that you just hoped for. And to see that there might actually be a cure is like just so exciting.
Right.
I mean, Truvada is great, but you still have to take it all the time, and
Right.
it's a drug, and who wants to take a drug all the time? And it's not foolproof, and
Right.
it's pretty good though. Truvada is very, very good.
The perception of HIV AIDS in this age of Truvada and PrEP and the treatments for people with HIV, it seems like I remember all of the HIV, the AIDS walks and AIDS rides and all of those kinds of things, and there was so much momentum behind those in the 90s, and it just seems like they don't get the same kind of push or coverage anymore. It's almost like it's become kind of the ghost in the room, if you will.
Yeah. Well, I kind of have a mixed heart about that, because thank God
Right.
that it's not the death sentence it was 20, 30 years ago.
Correct.
On the other hand, you're right. Without having it front and center, you can still get it, and it's still a horrible thing to get. And this cure that's coming up is not a cure. That's not something that's going to be available tomorrow at Walgreens. And there's an awareness that has changed. I think also, I mean, it's changed so much. There's the AIDS service organizations that used to, like what you said, used to do the walks and ACT UP, and the more militant pay attention to this is killing people kind of movement has shifted pretty dramatically now, in that it's much more medically based. And so when someone's identified as HIV positive, they're right away integrated into a medical system that provides most of the services that a lot of the AIDS service organizations used to provide back when we were the untouchables.
Right.
Well, that's kind of a great way. I'm glad you brought that up, because it does seem like in some ways like ACT UP and those groups were fighting to get recognition and funding and people to pay attention to HIV, and in some ways their fight was successful because people did, and we have these drugs and we have these organizations that do reach out, and if you do test positive, there's a community there to support you because of the work that those organizations did.
Right. That's true. I mean, it's not over yet.
No.
And it's important to keep, particularly the drug companies, maintain our attention on them and make sure that they're not that they're making the drugs available, that they're targeting their marketing to the communities that need it the most.
So wow, that's a heavy topic, right? Everybody, like,
Oh
but
yeah.
what great news that there is this possibility that there's a cure for HIV. That's pretty
awesome.
cool. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of work. One of the things I thought was an interesting line that she said is that it's not going to be like you're going to go get the cure for HIV at Walgreens.
Yeah, it's already owned by CVS, actually. So
Oh, CVS. It's at the bottom of your 16-foot long CVS receipt.
Yeah.
Coupon down there.
Sometimes you get $2 reward points.
Oh
Then
my
other times it's like, oh no, it's the cure for HIV.
I mean, Scotty, maybe you're like the only one that can know what this felt like. But when I turned 18, it was 1990, and like the height of the AIDS crisis,
Right.
and it kept getting worse through college. Like it was ever present, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, you're cute. Let me get my questionnaire out. And oh my God, anxiety.
Well, yeah, I agree. There's this, I think that like the idea of going on PrEP or Truvada, is for people who are of the age that you can remember being scared to death to have sex because it was the devil and the devil is going to kill you if you slept with the wrong person. It's like there's this fear that now you can take a pill that takes away the devil in the same that it's not that same way. And I think it's taken people, Gary, in our generation and before, a lot to get over that fear.
Yeah, like taking a pill and be like, yeah, it's cool. Now I can have unprotected sex. It's like, oh no, there's been years of like.
There has to be a lot of like lingering concern from all of that trauma that you like went through.
Oh, well, yeah.
I wouldn't think that would go away.
Well, I also think, so to bring a little bit more levity to this conversation, one of the things that I thought was interesting is she ended that segment with advertising and marketing and how it's important to market the things. It must be because Ian and I watch a lot of TV that's akin to the gay audience that we always see the ads for Truvada.
Yep. Pandora like totally can tell I'm gay and they're like, hey, take all these pills.
Right? It's sort of like they have the gaydar pinpointed to find us based on our buying purchases.
You get the commercials with the two men in the kayak.
Yeah.
The commercials with the man and a woman in a kayak.
Right.
Yep.
Some people get two women in a kayak. And some people get two people in a kayak.
I like it when Hulu has to make me pick the ad. The other night I got one between a dog and a cat, but sooner or later it's just gonna blatantly ask me like, so
we're still trying to figure it out.
You're kind of a puzzler. We're still figuring you out.
We're working this out right now.
They show you, it comes up with a picture of a man and a woman.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't help that I like share my movie accounts with my family.
That's why they're so confused. You're throwing them through a loop.
Would you like to see the new episode of Nickelodeon's new series? No.
Well, guys, I think this is a good point to go to a scene. Let's see a scene about these things. And here we go. Tabitha?
Yeah?
I've noticed that there have been some strange logins on my Netflix account. Like, I'm getting really weird suggestions.
Well, what have you been watching on Netflix?
Well, I have been watching, your standards, your Friends, I've watched some Blue Bloods reruns. I've watched some Starsky and Hutch because I like them. But I'm getting ads for like, there was an ad on there the other day for like I think it was lesbian porn.
Netflix's new documentary, Lesbian Porn, will follow a couple as they leave Iowa, their strict Christian background and home, and go to LA to live in the surly back alleys of lesbian porn.
That one.
Yeah,
Why
no,
am I getting
that.
served that?
So you shared your password with me, and
Yeah.
then I shared it with my cousin, who shared it with his neighbor,
Oh.
and he loves
Well,
Iowa lesbian documentaries. So that's probably what that is.
Do you want to see hardcore lesbian sex, but in a documentary so you don't actually see it? Here's a clip.
thank God we don't get to see the clip. What? Why are you sharing my Netflix account, Tabitha?
That's like the whole point. We don't pay for it, and we get to enjoy what you provided us with.
Look, as your father, I don't want our Netflix account being shared across the entire country.
Dad, you sound really ignorant right now.
Well, it's just like start your
It's
own.
lesbian porn documentaries that don't show any porn.
Look, what would your mother say if she, you know what? I'm going to call in your mother.
Netflix has a new documentary series
Why does it keep playing?
on sensual gay sex.
Move the cursor away, because it
I
like does that thing
can't.
where
I
it's like,
don't
let's
know how
watch
to
the
work
movie.
I don't know how to work the cursor, Kevin. You haven't shown me.
What are the
Is that
ads?
my gay porn show coming on? Ooh,
Mom,
ooh.
yes, your favorite show. It's starting in a second.
Ooh.
Actually, whenever we watch
Interview
Netflix.
people and ask, do you like it hard or soft?
Scene.
Oh.
Thanks for coming in as Mom, Miranda.
Don't worry about who I was. We didn't get to it. So.
He was a sensual porn actor.
Mom would be like the
Oh.
one that's like, I want to know what is.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna be the mom's friend. Don't worry about her. So.
Her name's Pam.
Listen, I'm Pam. Yes, we met kayaking. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
we went camping last week.
Okay.
Yeah,
you guys,
I'm the one that brought all the supplies. Don't
In a
worry
tandem
about it.
kayak.
Tandem kayak.
Side effects
Kayak
may
go
include
okay, let's watch the final segment now of this. And we're going to watch the final segment with Jan Stevenson, and here we go. Eve also did an interview with Mark Leibowitz, who did a online photo gallery and exhibit about stereotypes, which I'm very excited to talk with our group tonight about stereotypes.
I bet.
Because it's an interesting story, and I love the piece on Mark's exhibit because he talks about how really it's about communication. Like, are we preventing ourselves from talking to someone because they fit a stereotype that we have in our head? And I thought that was very interesting in his story and his take on on the photos that he's done. My question for you about stereotypes is, running an LGBTQ plus publication, how does Pride Source address stereotypes?
Well, it's funny because we talk about this all the time. And one of the things I'm so proud of our team about is that they're really open to exploring assumptions that because we all have assumptions. We all grew up somehow, we didn't all grow up in vacuums, and we all think different things about different people, and challenging that is a daily thing in a gay paper. One of our mantras about Between Lines is no one will stay in their box. You create this little box. This person's a trans person, and this person's a gay person, and this, no one stays in their box. It's very confusing, and that's beautiful.
Right.
And so I think that one of the things that Eve asked was, do people feel threatened when someone, they perceive somebody of a certain stereotype? And is that why the stereotype is so ingrained? And I think that one of the things that I feel really blessed about is I work with a team of people where they don't feel threatened if someone's like just different, or presents in a way that is not expected, or comes in with a gender that we've never heard of. And that's cool. It's it's very liberating to be able to be that curious. And it can be very fun. I mean, it can be confusing. I mean, if you can think you think you're doing one thing and you find out that you're talking to somebody about something completely different. We try really hard, and I think Eve's really remarkable at it. And I think it comes through in the story too. That remaining curious and open, and realizing that if someone's experience is completely unique to them, and there's no way we can know it unless they tell us. And that's what's so fun about doing a newspaper, is that people tell us their stories and we get to write about it. It's like, wow, that's so cool.
Great. Thank you so much, Jan, for taking time this afternoon to do this again. It's been wonderful.
Oh, it's always fun to talk to you, Scott.
Yeah.
Have fun with this tonight, you guys.
We will. Thank you so much.
All right, you too. Take care.
All right, so a little bit more lighthearted that time than our last segment. I think it's fascinating. Like Chris, you just posted in our little group this week about gay stereotypes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There was that one article. It was John Waters has a new movie coming out, so he was being interviewed or something, and he said he believed the stereotype about gay men that we can't whistle, and I can't whistle. On stage, when I need to whistle, I yell whistle noises because it gets a laugh, but also I can't whistle.
I've never heard that stereotype.
I know. I think it's like, I swear it's like from like Oscar Wilde days. Like that is not something anybody in the last 100 years. No one has looked at a man and be like, that guy can't whistle. If you know what I mean.
Well, I'm not gonna be able to do it on camera.
You said you could whistle the other day.
I can whistle.
I can whistle.
I like to imagine there were like two guys doing the construction worker thing where they whistle at like hot babes, and then if you don't whistle, then it's because you're not into women.
It's like their little witch hunt that they do, and they're like, you can't whistle.
Hey, Tony there doesn't whistle at women.
A wink.
He actually just lost his tongue in a construction accident. They're like, nope, he's gay. He's got a boyfriend.
Yeah, you're gay.
Well, that article also said that he said silent farts are also a sign of someone who's gay.
Oh, please.
That one makes sense. So there you go.
I don't know. Is there lesbian stereotypes like that, Miranda? Have you ever heard?
Of course there are.
I mean, I don't know ones that are that niche. I mean, of course there are, like, I don't know.
There's like
there's
a call to that with them on a second date, and then they move in really quick.
Yeah, there's the whole like emotional closeness before sexual.
Right.
But I've never heard something as like niche as whistling or finger length.
Yeah.
But now I want to look it up.
Well, we've got enough stuff to do a scene, so let's see a scene based on these things, guys. Here we go.
Well,
Okay, I don't. Oh, what are we gonna do if this is true?
I don't know. All of our left front tooths are longer than our right front tooths.
Oh, you know
That
what
means
you know.
we're... No, that's good, guys. That means we're Dutch.
No, it doesn't mean we're Dutch. It means that we're cannibals. What were you reading?
What were you reading?
Well, wait, aren't all Dutch people cannibals?
That's what I mean.
That's probably what I was reading. I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
Have you eaten Dutch food? It all goes well with sweet meat.
Yeah. Oh. Well, we can't go back to school like this. They're going to know that we're going to have wooden shoes and also that we like the taste of humans.
Oh no, the two most embarrassing things for a 7th grader.
Yes, but we can also legally, prostitute ourselves and wear orange. We'll wear orange.
Yeah, maybe, really liberal drug laws. That's kind of neat about being Dutch. But we are going to, be eating people's fingers and toes and eyes and stuff.
Wait.
I don't know.
Hey guys, I
Oh no.
want to say hi. I just moved to this area. My name's Bjorn Anderson.
Oh, you must be Swedish.
Oh.
No, I'm.
Can you show us your molars?
Yeah, can you
Can we just
smile?
see your molars real
Actually,
quick?
I'm from Holland, the Netherlands. So.
Oh, is that a city in the Netherlands, Holland?
Oh my gosh.
Yes and no. The Netherlands is where I'm from.
Show us your teeth. You have to prove it by showing.
Just real quick, can we just see your teeth?
Yeah, because I think we're the experts on this.
You clearly are not Dutch.
Sir, I don't know what you're trying to pull, but you're not Dutch.
Yeah.
I have my passport to show you
I
guys.
don't.
What are you, some kind of impersonator?
What do you
He's
think the
not
government can
Dutch.
make you Dutch?
He's not Dutch. Okay.
What?
Well,
He is from Finland.
Oh.
And
Oh my God, you're Asian?
he was one of the original.
Sorry.
Well, that old stereotype that all Finnish people are Asian. So everybody works hard against it. My family's Finnish.
We can set them back 50 years.
They're good at
Oh,
school.
no.
I figured orange shirt. I had to come in for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, Scotty, as always, I really loved your accent.
I didn't have an accent. Without an accent. Well, we have time for one more scene, so we can do another scene, guys, based on anything that we've talked about today. So you guys have a free pass to go improvise anything, whenever you want, and go.
How's it going down there?
Oh, I've been here a really long time.
Well, I mean, I'm afraid of basements, so.
Well, I just want to.
Do you need a sandwich? I can lower down like a Gatorade and a PB&J. I'm not a very good cook.
No, I don't need 2 drinks.
Well, is it finished?
You meant Gatorade and Pabst, right?
No, I meant Gator. I can blend up a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for you if you're on an all liquid diet.
No,
really?
you used an acronym, and I thought you meant Pabst Blue Ribbon. You said PB.
And J.
Hey, Mom, I hope you don't mind, but I blended together a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a PBR, and I think I'm in love.
Oh my gosh, great. Well, hey, lower some down to your father, okay? He's been down in the basement for 3 weeks now, and I guess he's not finished.
I have been pouring concrete, and I don't know why you will not lower the ladder so I can come sleep in a bed.
Dad, just try the drink that I made and also stay in the basement until you finish the job. God.
Hey, Dad, did you put that lotion on your skin that I dropped off last night?
No, I have not, and I will not lift the basket back to you until I've used it. So,
Dad,
remember what I
I'm
said
just
about the
gonna
hose?
Yeah, we're just
Chad.
gonna pull the basket up, and then we're gonna give you your PBR and PB&J. Just finish the job up.
Sweetheart,
Justin?
we're just trying to make your job as easy as possible.
my job right now is just waiting for concrete to dry, and it's moist.
And you're doing a great job.
Dad, you're so good at it.
No,
We
it's
haven't seen it
moist.
yet, but I bet it looks great.
You can see it. It's literally all around me.
Oh, we don't want to ruin the surprise, Dad.
You got my eyes closed, you
we
can't
can't
tell.
look, Dad.
Oh,
It's not a surprise. It's concrete, okay? Chad, I appreciate your lotion business, but that's not helping me right now. Also, I said I'd prefer lavender, and you sent apricot.
And aloe.
Okay, aloe is not a scent.
Oh, what a considerate
There's aloe in that
son.
lotion too.
Mm.
Okay, honey, it's moist down here, like your cakes. So you should understand what I'm talking about. Lower the ladder and let me come up for dinner.
Coming to Netflix, construction workers, concrete, and porn. See?
All I could think of was, come on down, honey, and we'll give our kids a show.
All right.
Red lotion.
All right. With that, we will end tonight's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us and watching. A special thank you to Jan Stevenson from Between the Lines for being our guest again this time. And we're so happy that they came back. We were a little bit worried that we had scared them off, but they're still here and love us. Big thanks to Brendan McCarthy for joining us tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me. That was a lot of fun.
So if you like this, please go to gocomedy.net and buy a virtual ticket for Digigo and support our show. Also, there are many things going on at Go Comedy on their digital channel, including one Miranda is involved with. Tell us about it.
The Bureau, which is an improv troupe, has been hard at work this summer on a comedy sketch album. So it's going to be released on August 23rd at 7 p.m. If this is before then please tune in to our launch party on the Go Facebook. And if this is after that point, go check us out on Bandcamp and listen to the album. It'll make you laugh.
Yay! And I'm in Date Night, which is another one of our digital shows that is running. Is anyone else doing anything digital that we should plug in on the
In this show.
in this show? So great. So if you like this, please buy a virtual ticket and support us. So when the theater opens again, we can do this on stage. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.